Hello everybody, my name is Marlo and welcome back to my custom villager houses tutorial series where we are building a house for each of the Minecraft villager professions. So if you don't want to miss out on the few remaining builds left in this mini series, please feel free to subscribe. All of these are from my survival series where we are making a custom village, and the original concept of this series came from Mythical Sausage. Both my playlist and his are going to be down in the description for you to check out. So far we have done the Cleric, Weaponsmith, Fisherman, Cartographer, Shepard, Butcher, Leatherworker and Armourer houses, but today we are building a home for the Fletcher. In this double chest is your materials list for the build, which is actually a little bit shorter than some of the other ones in this mini series. So gather all of these together and then we can get to building, but something that you may also need to grab that isn't inside of this chest is actually a loom, because we're going to be making a custom pattern design with these two light grey dyes and these two white banners. So gather all of these together with the addition of a possible loom if you don't already have one. The size of the Fletcher's house is roughly 14 by 19 blocks, which is a little bit larger than the rest simply because there is an outside area to this build. So the first thing we can do is place our strip spruce logs, with the first one going here and then placing 3 more just like that. Each of those have a single block in between them, and this is going to be the front of the house. We can then come around to the right hand side here and place 1 more, leave a gap of 3 and then another gap of 1. So the right hand side looks like this and the left hand side is going to be completely the same, so copy it on over around this one too. And then for around the back of the build we can just place 1 in the center here with 2 blocks in between each of those logs. And then each of these logs can be brought up by 1, 2, 3 more for a total of 4 high pillars, so do that for all of these. Facing the front of the house here, we're going to grab our spruce stairs and have an upside down one on the top block of both of these outer pillars with a regular stair coming out of the back, just like that. We can then grab our spruce trapdoors and have 1 on top of that upside down stair and then 1 just in front, so it's a little bit lower than the trapdoor on the top, like that. We'll do the same for this stair as well, and on top of the trapdoor we'll have a spruce slab on both of the sides, and then we're going to need to place a temporary block on top of both of these pillars with an upside down spruce stair coming out the front, just like that. Remove your temp blocks with a spruce slab in the center. So the front of the house should look like this. You can then copy it round to the back because it is the same round here. As for the left and the right hand side of the builds, we're going to place our upside down spruce stairs again on these top pillar blocks just like that, with a spruce slab in front of it on the same level, so it's looking like this at the moment. We can then grab our spruce trapdoors and again have 1 in front and on top on both of the 2 sides, where again we can have ourselves a spruce slab, and then we're just going to place a line of temporary blocks right here and have a spruce stair facing this way, and the same again on this side with 1 in the center so that they wrap round just like that. And we can go ahead and do this round the other side too. And once you have all of that done, very quickly you can just grab 1 more strip spruce log and place it right here, and that is around the back of the build just to complete this pillar all the way up to the slab. Next up, come round to the back of the house. On top of this pillar block that we've just placed down, we're going to have ourselves a spruce trapdoor, followed by 2 spruce slabs just like that. Then place a couple of temporary blocks and have another slab up by half a block just like that. And we can do the same for the front here. Obviously going to need to place a temporary block this time, followed by that trapdoor. 2 slabs, a couple of temp blocks, then another slab once again. As for these 2 sides here, we're going to place a temp block with a trapdoor, followed by a slab and then a temp block here with a spruce stair. So it should be trapdoor, slab and then stair on the same level as these 2 slabs. We'll do the same for this side as well. And then once you've got that done, you can either place a full plank or just 2 slabs in the center there with a spruce trapdoor on top. As for filling in the rest of the roof, each of these 4 quadrants are actually completely the same, and we're just going to be using oak slabs. So I'll show you how to do one of them and you can copy them on over. So first things first, we're going to have 2 next to this stair at the top, and then we're going to have 1 on top of this pillar, followed by 2 more, and then 1 just to the side of it. So we have something like this, and very simply we just want to fill in the rest of the blocks here with some more oak slabs. So each of the 4 corners should look like this, and you can copy them over, as I said, to these 3 sides. Now we're going to add in the outside work area to this build, so come round to the back of the house here and grab your spruce fences, stripped oak logs and spruce slabs, and on this far right pillar here we're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 fences with an oak log at the end and a spruce slab on top. 4 fences again, not 5, 4 this time, and then an oak log and a slab. 4 fences once again, oak log and a slab. Another 4 fences round here with an oak log and a slab again. And you guessed it, 1, 2, 3, 4 fences to complete this outside area. Sticking to the back of the build here, we're going to come to the left hand side here and place down 2 white terracotta at the bottom with 2 white terracotta at the top, and then 2 more on the left hand side, and these 2 blocks can become glass panes with 2 spruce trapdoors either side of it. So that's how the left hand side should be looking. The right hand side, we're going to grab our oak planks and have 2 at the bottom here, with 1 in the center with 2 either side of it curved round just like that. We're then going to have a stair on top of this block, followed by an oak trapdoor flicked upwards as a window, and then 2 upside down stairs at the top. And then to complete this part of the build, we'll have ourselves a back door in the shape of a spruce door right there. So this is how the back should be looking. Once again, the left and the right hand side of this house are identical, so in this center open spot right here where we have 3 blocks in between, we'll have 3 blocks at the bottom, 3 blocks at the top just like that with 2 either side, and this can become a window. As for the other 2 sides, we'll have 1 at the bottom with 2 at the top, leaving a space for a glass pane in the center of those 2. We'll then stick a grass block just in front of that white terracotta and surround it with spruce trapdoors, flick them all up to make a nice little flower bed just like that. And then grab your oak slab and place 1 on the bottom half of this white terracotta block on both of those 2 sides. As for the center, we'll have an oak slab on the top of this bottom white terracotta block with 2 upside down oak stairs either side of it, 2 brick walls, 2 oak fences with a line of slabs across the top, followed by a lantern hanging down underneath. And then of course we need some flowers on top of our flower beds, just like that. So this is how the left hand side looks. You can copy it on over to the right hand side as well. The final side is of course the front of the house round here, and on the left and the right sides here we're going to have an oak stair at the bottom with an upside down oak stair at the top with 2 glass panes in the center, just like that. We can then step inside the house for this next part and place an horizontal strip spruce log underneath this spruce trapdoor facing into the oak stair, or the slab, sorry. So we have something that's like this, and remaining inside of the house here, we're going to place our oak trapdoor and open it on up so that it's level with the face of the front of the house here. We can then have an oak stair underneath it, upside down of course, with a spruce door on the back of this block just like that. And then we can grab a spruce trapdoor and have 1 on the bottom of this strip spruce log, followed by an oak fence with a lantern hanging down from below. Before we head inside and start working there, we're actually going to do the outside area here, which is going to be a very small archery range for the Fletcher to test his arrows that he makes. So to begin with here, just in front of this glass pane, we're going to break down by 1, 2 blocks and place a lever at the bottom there, followed by a piston on top so that it extends like so. And you can actually go ahead and replace this block here with some white terracotta if you want. You can even put an oak block here, but I don't think that makes too much sense. I feel like this one does. Anyway, that doesn't really matter because on top we're going to have a lantern providing some light to all of this garden here, where in front of this one we can place a brick wall, leave a gap of 2 and place another one right here. And then directly in front of these, but at the end of the garden here, we're going to place 2 more with an oak fence on top, and then actually just place a couple of temporary blocks like so that we're able to have a horizontal hay bale facing the front just like that. And then simply to make these look a little bit nicer, we're going to go ahead and cover them all up with spruce trapdoors on every single side except from the front. So that's on the top, the sides and the back just like so, but leave the front open as that is where the arrows are going to be shot into. For this little part right here, just behind the brick walls and in front of the doorway, we're going to have ourselves a bit of a barrel stack. Something a little bit like this should be good. However, if you don't want to use barrels, as this is the Fisherman's workstation and could cause some complications if you're looking to actually have a Fletcher inside of here, you could always use a different block. For example, in my survival series, I use my custom note block texture as a crate, but I think the original texture for the note block kind of looks like a barrel, so if you want to use that instead, feel free to go ahead, but we'll stick with the regular barrels for now. On top of these 2 barrels, we're going to have a chest with one just to the side here, a scaffolding on this block covered up by 2 spruce trapdoors. And my thinking for this right here is that this is potentially a stationary quiver, so something that you store arrows in but you can't put on your back. So when the Fletcher is out here testing the arrows with his bow, he could maybe store them in each of these individual slots and, you know, grab them, shoot them against the hay bale and grab them again. So yeah, that's what I'm imagining for this little section right here. But anyway, we can now head inside of the house and start work on the interior. The first thing we're going to do inside of here is come to the very center of the room, so line yourself up with the spruce door and this pillar right here and then the 2 windows on either side, and look directly up, and we're going to place down 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 strip spruce logs. And then we're going to come to the front of the house here, so this is the main doorway, where we're going to have 1, 2, 3 horizontal strip spruce logs, and on the other 3 sides we're just going to have the 2. So we end up with something that looks like this at the moment, and then very quickly, just next to this pillar here, we're going to have another one stacked up so that it's 5 high. So we should have something that looks like this for the moment. We can then grab our oak stairs, and what we want to do here on each of these 4 corners, so you can see how it's split into 4 separate parts, on each of those we're going to break away 1, 2, 3 and 4 of these oak slabs and just have 4 upside down stairs in replace of it, so that they curve around nicely like that and should be looking like this with those 2 slabs staying at the top. So we can do this 3 more times, which will eventually get us a ceiling that looks like this. Nice and neat. In front of this spruce door here, we're going to have ourselves an oak stair and curve one round to the side just like that. We'll then have another oak stair here, followed by 2 oak trapdoors folded upwards with an upside down oak stair at the top. Full oak plank just beside it with another upside down stair here, and then we can stick a spruce door on that block right there. Coming round to the side over here, we're just going to fill this entire area up with spruce trapdoors, so that should be 8 in total. Flick them all up just to make a bit of a wall and enclose this area in, which is actually going to become a bedroom. And the first thing we can do inside of here is break away these 6 grass blocks or whatever one is on the floor, and then we're going to place a crisscross pattern of stripped oak logs. So that's one facing forwards, another facing sideways, forward, sideways, forward, sideways, so we get something that looks like this. And of course in our bedroom we're going to need a bed. Place that one down in the corner with a scaffolding just beside and a flower pot on top. Nice and cozy in here. As for the rest of the house, we're going to come to this very corner right here, just right of the doorway, and then we're going to come in 1 block like this and break away these 4 blocks. These 2 underneath the strip spruce log and white terracotta can become the same depending on which block it is, so spruce log and white terracotta here. We can also replace these 2 blocks at the bottom with brick blocks with 2 brick stairs in front of it, just like that. We're then going to have ourselves 2 campfires at the bottom here, extinguish them with a shovel or water or whatever you happen to have on hand. And then we're going to have 2 spruce trapdoors on these blocks right here. So make sure they're actually on the top of this block here, not the bottom of that one, as we want to place some campfires on top and extinguish them once again. And then we're just going to cover them up with some spruce trapdoors. So that's 2 on either side, fold them upwards like that, and then we'll have 2 more at the top. So in theory, this is meant to be the wood that the Fletcher turns into something to make arrows with, or possibly bows. And then once we have this in place, while we're at it with all of the brick stuff down here, we're actually going to go ahead and replace all of these grass blocks with full brick blocks, or brick slabs if you want to save on resources. So the final thing to do inside of here is to complete the arrow making process. So of course the Fletcher is going to need his fletching table, his own workstation right there just beside the glass panes, and then we're going to place 2 trapdoors enclosing this corner block here. You should be able to place a full block inside of that one. But we're actually going to put some armor stands inside of here, 4 to be exact. So the first one, we're actually going to face this pillar here, just beside the fletching table, and place it down like that. We'll then face the corner of the room and place another at the top here so that it falls in position. We'll face the oak block here and place 1 more, and face the terracotta block and place another one, so we eventually end up with something like this. So my thinking is that these are meant to be refined sticks that originally the Fletcher made from these stacks of logs up here, that he's going to use to make bows or possibly arrows. But if he's going to make bows, he's obviously going to need some string to go on them, which is where the banners come into play. So if we just plop down our loom and open it on up and place the white banners in with the light grey dye just beside it, we're going to want to select this pattern right here. So the bottom left one before you start scrolling, the one with all of the lines. Go ahead and get ourselves 2 of them, place them down on those 2 blocks, and it kind of looks like a bundle of string that maybe the Fletcher kind of peels apart and cuts a bit off to make a bow, obviously using some of the sticks right here. So yeah, got to use your imagination a bit, but I would say that is a pretty cool process the Fletcher would have to do his job. And that, everybody, is going to do it for the tutorial of the Fletcher's house. I really hope this did help you out if you were looking to build one for your Fletcher. I'm just round the back here testing out the targets in the shape of hay bales. But thank you everybody so much for watching. I really hope you did enjoy, and I will see you next time. Bye for now.